Hey everybody, I had to go take care of some business up in Tehachapi today. Coming back down the freeway, I noticed there were a few westbounds headed this way, and thought I'd stop here at Bena. I know I've done a couple of trains here in the past, but really never told any stories about it. Had a few interesting things happen to me here or around me while I was here, and can show you what this equilateral switch looks like. But anyway, let's check it out. All right, as you can see, this is an equilateral turnout. The turnout length here, I can't remember. They go by numbers, and the bigger the number, the longer the turnout. And this is a long turnout. You can see here that we have a power switch machine here. And then there is another power switch machine there at the heel, helper machine. And right here, you see the helper rod assembly. Since this is such a long turnout, it requires rods to help the entire switch point move over. I did a piece on the north end of Bakersfield. You can go back, I'll link that in the description below, but you go back and look at that video. It's an equilateral turnout. It has a long switch point too, not this long, and it doesn't have quite an elaborate helper rod assembly as this one. But you can see that they're connected through levers to this rod. They go up and connect to that rod. Both of these are connected to basket rods, and if you'll remember the piece I did on the how the switch worked at cable, that is the basket, and you tighten or loosen the bolts at each side of the basket there to increase or decrease pressure on the points. And in this case, on the second rod and at the heel. As you can see, they all have basket rods, levers, and helper rods. All two of them. And let's walk down there a little ways. Look at the frog. All right, we have come back to the frog. From up there, switch points are way up there at this particular turnout. You can see this helper rod assembly. And the way this works is the power switch machine is connected to the point. You can see the point runs down between the two. These are both actually turnout rails here. And the power switch machine just moves the point from one side to the other, depending on which way the dispatcher has the train lined. And you can see that this has a basket and a helper assembly, just like the switch points, to keep everything operating smoothly and to keep the point from being bound up. All right. One of the interesting stories that, not something that happened to me, or not to me, but around me one time at this location back in the 1980s. There used to be, back down there, you can see where those trees are, and there's that tan colored water tank. There used to be a fertilizer plant there, and there was a spur track to the left off what was then the number 2 track, and another one off to the right off the number 1 track. Both of them were down there. They were the switches were pretty much across from each other. Well, I was here with a guy named Ed Byrne, another guy named Bob Hollett. The place I'm talking about is here over my shoulder. Now, on this particular day, there was a maintenance away gang that had their equipment parked in the spur off the number 1 track, the track to your right, and they were waiting to get some time to go out and do some work on the number one track. And the dispatcher had given them time to do that. Now me and Ed Burnt, Bob Hollett were working back here by where the signal is. That's where the control point house used to be. Today, it's right there. But, as I said back then, this control point wasn't this big. It was still an equilateral switch, but it wasn't this long. And the house was back up there. And we were waiting to do some work in there. And we heard the dispatcher give the maintenance away gang time to come out on the number one track. There was an electric lock down there that they had to open up to throw the switch and get out onto the main track. We were standing right there by the signal, and there was a train coming this way from behind us here. And we knew that they had time on the number one track, so we assumed they were going to just send him against the current on the number two track. Right as the train got to the signal, we didn't really look at the switch. Right as the train got to the signal, he went into emergency. And for those of you who don't know what a train sounds like from the outside, when it goes into emergency, it just goes psh, and we had no idea what was going on. And we looked down. The dispatcher had lined the train down the number one track that he had given tracking time out on, right into that maintenance away gang. And when we looked down there, they had just started to bring the piece of equipment out. He wasn't on the main yet, but when they opened the electric lock, the signal, the engineer said he just caught the signal go red out of the corner of his eye and plugged the train. And when we looked down there, as I said, the machine it was a regulator, and it wasn't out on the tracks yet on the main line. And a guy named Eddie Vasquez, he was a pretty chubby guy, but he had wings that day. He flew off that machine, and the train managed to get stopped about 100 feet short of the switch. And so there was no damage done, but the foreman of that track gang was trying to contact the dispatcher. The train was trying to contact the dispatcher, and when the dispatcher came on, it was a different dispatcher, and they pulled that dispatcher out of service. We went down there to see if everybody's okay, and Eddie's a Mexican guy. His buddies were telling him, "You don't look like a Mexican anymore. You're whiter than Magoo," and that's my nickname. And he was, man. He was pretty shook up, and I don't blame him. But anyway, that's one of the interesting things that happened to me at Bena. All right, let's catch a train. All right, here comes our westbound Union Pacific across the Callini Creek Bridge here. Must be a heavy ass train. A couple more helpers on the back. All right. Westbound UP at Bena. All right, well, Hope you enjoyed that little piece. Keep shooting me the ideas. Drop in the comments below. Shoot me an email at motorpoet59@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe. Click on the bell if you want to be notified of future content. We'll see you all later.